It's Do Time with Pastor Steph.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Rise and shine. You're on with this Do Time with Pastor Steph with your girl Shontyce again this morning. How are you doing this morning? As Pastor Steph would say, that's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. For this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Were you guys on with us yesterday morning? Because yesterday morning I was blessed to be able to assist you with getting your morning started off right as well. We started, of course, with our health tips where we were talking about I'm going to get this pronunciation right a lot quicker. Cyclosporiasis. Cyclosporiasis. Yes. They're calling it the diarrhea disease, diarrhea infection, and this is due to some nasty stools, human feces that's found in our food, y'all, and it has been a wide outbreak and spread across 47 different states here in the US, and it has everything to do, now it's not from person to person, but it's from person to food to person. So for those who work in these restaurants and they do not wash their hands, yeah, big problem. Big problem, right? So they had a few restaurants on the list, and one of the restaurants, of course, was good old Taco Bell. Were we all that surprised? No, because unfortunately there's been a whole lot in regards to Taco Bell that has been taking place within the media. So we have to make sure that we're being very careful. You know, Lady Tanika was able to give some tips as to how to stay woke, how to stay alert, even in grocery stores, you know, so we have to make sure that we're paying attention to that so that we do not get infected, okay? It causes fever, it causes bloating, it causes diarrhea, it causes vomiting, it causes intestinal infection, okay? We don't want that. No, we don't want that. So I have to make sure that we're staying away from the contaminated produce, making sure that we're washing our fresh fruits and vegetables in clean, uncontaminated water, making sure that we're on point, okay? Then we hit up our news, all right? Our news was putting us on to the new verification scam. You know, when you go to pay your bills or you're going to look something up online and you have to verify that you're a human and you're not a robot. Well, once you verify, if a notification then pops up saying that verification failed. Why am I so tongue-tied this morning? Once you go online to verify that you are a human and not indeed a robot, a notification may pop up stating that the verification process failed and there's some extra steps you need to take. While doing those extra steps, right? They are in the background installing software that will hack your computer. Yes, strip your computer of your passwords, tap into your wallet so they have access to your bank, your credit cards. A whole lot be going on that you have no idea about. And did you go watch Beekeeper? Because I did recommend and suggest that you go and watch Beekeeper, starring Jason Statham and Felicia Rashad, because that movie has everything to do with this type of situation here when it comes to scamming. So if you didn't, make sure you go and watch. But yes, make sure. And then, you know, it was funny, y'all. Someone called me last night stating that they had to pay their phone bill and had to give everything pretty much with blood. just to verify that it was them. And he was like, to pay my phone bill? Yes, it's, we get really annoyed with the representatives, but unfortunately, because no one wants to be held liable, not on my watch, not when you're able to pull back up these conversations and you hear, oh, you spoke to Representative Shontyce. Yeah, no, but there's going to have to be some type of balance in order, because as the customer, as the consumer, as someone who's paying my bill, I don't want to have to give an arm and a leg to prove that it's me. So we're going to have to make sure that we're on point with that. Okay. Then we went over how your children can get their hands on Ouija boards in Five Below. Yes, your child can go to the toy section in Five Below and ask if they can get a Ouija board for only $5. We went through what a Ouija board is exactly, and should this be made accessible to anyone, let alone our children, up in the store. Five Below, a store that caters to children, has a little of everything, a little bit of apparel, a little bit of arts and crafts, toys, workout equipment. Yeah, this is what they're doing, y'all. This is what they're doing. And then we went over the Nolan Wells update. Where are they in their investigation? Well, the closer they get into their investigation being closed, because they've been able to crack the case. They're getting close. They have to be getting close, because now the judge and a few witnesses are all of a sudden being threatened by people who supposedly have no connection to Nolan Wells, no connection to the suspects, no connection to the people he was with that day, no connection to the boat they were on, no connection to the island they were visiting, no connection to no connection to no connection. So why are these people threatening? Who knows? We have no idea. But they're in connection somehow, because you have one woman who was even threatening the city clerk's office, calling the city clerk's office multiple times with bomb threats, talking about time is ticking. And now these people were arrested. Thank the Lord. They were arrested. But come on, y'all. Come on. What are we doing? What are we doing? So we're just gonna pray that the powers that be, whomever God has chosen to investigate this case, is on it, as they say in the streets, and that justice is served according to the Lord. Amen. Well, now it is Freestyle Friday, y'all. We have made it to the end of the week. Thank God. I just spoke to Pastor Steph yesterday, and she is able to relax in the mighty name of Jesus. We give God thanks for her. We are on with our men today. Okay, and we have conversations may be a little interesting, maybe a little heightened, because it's freestyle, so in regards to speaking with the men and talking about the celebrities, celebrity news, celebrity updates, we don't know where the conversation may take us. Okay, so make sure you go and grab your healthy breakfast. Make sure you don't drink that coffee or tea on an empty stomach. Make sure you text a friend, you DM a friend, you message a friend, hit them up on Instagram, TikTok. People still on Twitter. Somebody keeps sending me links from Twitter, but they're still on there. And let them know that it's Due Time with Pastor Steph, featuring your girl Shontyce is on. Whatever you do, do not go anywhere, because we are coming right back.
Who you put your head on her shoulder and she comforts you will be the one.
And you know what sucks, Tim? I had her and I lost her. I had her in that season of me just going with the flow. I knew where you was going, and like literally my eyes are getting red. And I said, I'm not going to cry on this man's show. I had her. She wanted it. I couldn't give it because I've never seen a vulnerable man before. I've never seen a man lead with vulnerability, lead with that level of like, I'm going to trust you with my weakness. I've always seen the great men in my life, my fathers, lead with strength. But never lead with, I'm going to rest my head on your shoulder. because I did that one day accidentally on her, and she lifted up her hand and rubbed my head. And when she rubbed my head, I immediately jumped up. Because my manhood was like, no, she's supposed to be on yours. And I was like, I've never done this. Let me get up. But then when I matured, when I evolved, I was like, I'm tired of always being strong. I'm tired of always having to act like I got it together and I have every single answer. And I broke down in therapy and realized I'm not that strong. I am strong, but I ain't that strong to where I could do it all by myself.
The woman who you put your head on her shoulder and she comforts you will be the one.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to It's Due Time with Pastor Steph, featuring your girl, Shontyce. Yes, it's me. I believe that's going to be our topic for this morning. So ladies, if you are on, please make sure you stay on and chime in because we may need some extra verification in regards to what was stated, to what was said. Amen. We have to make sure we give our due time morning check-ins, shout outs, saying good morning. Good morning, Ketty. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Justice came really quick, okay? Good morning, Lady Tamika. Thank you for being on with us this morning. Thank you. We have a check-in from Charles Miller. Hello. Good morning. Thank you. Lady Tamika says, great PSA. Yes, PSA. Ketty says, I like that PSA. Yes, there's a whole lot to be said in regards to what those gentlemen were talking about. So yeah, actually we're gonna put a staple in that, and we're gonna come back to that, as Pastor Steph would say, because listening to that really gave some thought. Okay, all right. So we have our Friday morning trivia, as Fridays, Freestyle Fridays, celebrity updates, celebrity news, celebrity fun facts, and Pastor Steph always talks about our My Two Cents show, our TV and film critique show, featuring herself, featuring myself, and featuring Ainsley, Brother Ainsley, that Brooklyn guy who will be on. Why am I so tongue-tied this morning? Brother Ainsley, that Brooklyn guy who will be on God Spares in a few minutes. And we critique upcoming show. Oh, wait, we have a check-in from Pastor Grace. Good morning. And we have a check-in from none other than our girl, Anika. Good morning. Thank you so much for being here with us this morning, ladies. Hopefully you'll be able to tune in, sending your comments, sending your thoughts. Thank you, Anika, for always holding it down in the background. Ooh, boss. Okay, so as we are speaking on what kind of trivia we're going to be talking about this morning. Again, we do the TV, film, and critique. I love me some movies, grew up on going to the movie theater, grew up on a lot of the best TV shows, sitcoms, and movies, y'all. The 90s had it, y'all. Growing up in the 90s was the absolute best. Loved it. Okay. So what's this morning's trivia? The best black throwback movies. I should have put of all time. Okay, and I was watching a really good throwback movie the other day, kind of just like on a whim. And I think that movie is on this list. And of course, that means that we're going to be touching on some real Black veteran actors who've been acting in the game for a long time. So we are going to dive into this list. Let's see who and what we have here. All right, so y'all see in this photo right already, you got two dynamic throwback films here. You have Boomerang and you have Menace to Society. Who doesn't love Boomerang and Menace to Society? Ooh, if you don't, you're crazy. And I know some people on this side of the fence who never watched these movies, you get kicked out of my house because you just can't be here and you haven't watched certain movies. It's just like, get out. Why are you here? Okay, so the first movie that they have, House Party, which came out in 1990. Y'all know House Party, featuring Chris and Chris, Kid and Play, Christopher Martin, Christopher Reed. Did y'all know that Christopher Reed, who played Play, the dark-skinned one, he's Martin Lawrence's cousin? Did y'all know that? I found that out a few years ago. I had no idea. Growing up, I had no idea. Just always used to watch this. This movie also featured Tisha Campbell, Gina from Martin. It also featured AJ Johnson, the mother who played, the woman who played Tyrese's mother in Baby Boy, for those who don't know. And now she is, well, she's been for quite some time, a very famous fitness instructor and life coach to the celebrities. Beautiful. Love both of them. But yes, House Party. You had some heavy hitters. You had, what was the actor's name? Oh my goodness, the one that played Kid's father. Robin Harris, right? That was his name? Robin Harris. Robin Harris, actor, comedian. Robin Harris featured John Witherspoon as the neighbor who kept calling the cops on them because the party was too loud. And we had some heavy hitters. Featured Full Force. Yes, the brothers who not only act, but they were heavy in the music industry. And Bowleg Lou, I believe he's still doing some things within the industry. He's the brother. Remember the bullies that was chasing Kid and beat him up in the cafeteria? Yeah. Yeah, the one with the squeaky voice. I know he's heavy into, I think, ghostwriting and producing and stuff like that. So yes, and did y'all know that Kid and Play, yes, no, not Kid and Play. We know it starred Kid and Play. But did y'all know that this movie was originally designed to star Will Smith and Jazzy Fresh? What do y'all think about that? I think that would have been a wiggity whack. I think that would have been so whack. I'm so happy that the powers that be went to Kid and Play. Okay. Number 2 on the list, Boys in the Hood. Of course, this is starring Ice Cube. This is starring Cuba Gooding Jr. This is starring Morris Chestnut. Morris Chestnut before he really became Morris Chestnut. You know, also starring Lawrence Fishburne, Angela Bassett. I actually watched recently the audition clip for, I forgot her name, but the one who played the mother, the one who played Ice Cube and Morris Chestnut's mother in the film. And she did that thing. I love her. She played in a lot of John Singleton's movies. She also played in Poetic Justice. This is actually one of John Singleton's classics, and this came out back in 91. 91. Anika says, good choice not to use them. Kid and Play were perfect. They were absolutely amazing in this flawless in-house party. Okay, so yes, Boys in the Hood had some heavy hitters in it as well. The fight and the storyline for it, was amazing. Of course, you had young Trey, who moved in with his father, Fuchsius, and grew up with his friends, his childhood lifelong friends. Doughboy, played by Ice Cube, and oh my gosh, Ricky, played by Marvin Short. How could I forget Ricky? That's all I was young when he got shot. Ricky, and just a tumultuous neighborhood that they lived in, South Central LA. I also saw a clip of Nia Long stating, her experience in preparing to go to audition. She didn't know that John Singleton was a black film director. She thought he was white, and she's from South Central LA. So she was like, who's this white person fitting to come and write a story about where we from? Only to get to the audition, have John Singleton speak to her. She didn't realize that was a director. And yeah, so that's why you got to be on point. Okay, number three on the list, New Jack City. Now, this movie has gotten a few people pretty much kicked out of my house. I'm like, oh, you watch New Jack City? And they're like, no. How do you not know of Nino Brown? Let me tell y'all something. This is how y'all know when actors have just... When you who originally played the role can't duplicate that role again, you know you done did it. Wesley Snipes could never be Nino Brown again. I don't care what time capsule he stepped in to make himself look like the old Wesley Snipes. My grandmother used to pronounce Wesley Snipes. I don't care what. He could never duplicate Nino Brown. Ever. This starred Wesley Snipes as Nino Brown. This starred Alan Payne as, oh my gosh, what was his name in here? How am I forgetting? Alan Payne. This starred Vanessa Williams as Keisha. This starred Bill Nunn as Gutterman. Loved him. This starred Christopher Williams. This starred who else? No, I love Samuel Jackson. Oh, hello, Chris Rock. Cookie. Hello. Danica says, Shontyce, you know every word from New Jack City. Yeah. Because when you grow up on these movies, like, it was nothing to repeat the lines. And he says, you're my brother's keeper. Yes, remember when Nino Brown sat up on the chair asking him, am I my brother's keeper? And everybody's like, yes, I am. Yes, that's right. Y'all be quiet. Yes, I know every line. So what? Okay, there's so many memorable lines from New Jack City. Okay? But yes, we have to make sure that we watch. Come on, like there's nothing like a good Saturday night with something good to eat. A Steph on in New Jack City, which came out in 1991. Again, a movie of the 90s. Okay, what's another good one that they have on this list? Okay, of course, Boomerang, as we see here, starring Eddie Murphy as the high marketing exec, and he's the big playboy until he meets his match, played by Robin Givens. Okay, and then gets swept off his feet by Angela, played by Halle Berry, which completely caught him off guard. And I was actually watching this the other day. It's also starred Eartha Kitt, also starred Martin Lawrence and David Alan Grier. Amazing cast. Good morning, Pastor Steph. How are you? Listen, Pastor Steph and I are some serious movie buffs. We take movies serious, okay? Movies very serious. And did y'all know that because, well, first of all, this was one of the first all black casted movies that grossed millions of dollars at the box office. And of course, Eddie Murphy caught some flack. Of course, you're going to catch some flack because now the other side of the fence is not popular off of it. Oh, well, get over it. Okay? This movie was so impactful that Eddie Murphy played the character Marcus Graham, the high popular marketing exec. Do you know that there's actually scholarships named Marcus Graham at some universities based off of this movie. Like, this is where you know you doing the thing, okay? Now, he was just writing this movie. You know, they got the people to play in it. Oh, this also starred Tisha Campbell. And Tisha Campbell, I think it was her or Martin who stated that at the premiere at Boomerang, Martin walked up to Tisha Campbell and said, "You're going to play my girlfriend in my show." And Martin started in what, 92? The Boomerang came out when? 92. Okay. So it was probably already in the works. And we're going to cover a couple of more movies. Juice! Another movie that will get you kicked out of this house if you have not watched it. Come on, Juice, starring Khalil Kain as Raheem, Omar Epps as Q. Bishop. Let me tell y'all something. Again, Bishop played by Tupac. Let me tell y'all. Every movie that we watch now, that's one of the first things I say when it has to do with like someone who's, especially if it's a group of friends, someone who's planning to, they're a part of a group, whether they're friends or not, and they robbing a bank or doing whatever. Like, there's always a bishop. There's always a bishop in the group. Okay, I can't wait. We do have our brother Ainsley on with us, and I'm so looking forward to getting his feedback because, again, he's a part of the My Two Cents cast. Yes, thank you, Lady Tamika. I don't know why I was drawing the blank. Alan Payne played G Money in New Jack City. Yes, Anika says Juice is one of my favorite old school movies. Yes, the soundtrack was dope. The plight of the storyline was amazing. Oh, starred Samuel L. Jackson as well. I loved him. He has one of the most memorable lines. Pastor Steph and I actually met Eric Payne from Juice. He played, so remember Q was dating an older woman, Cindy from the group En Vogue, the 90s R&B group En Vogue. Yes, she starred in it as well. She played Q's older girlfriend. She was the nurse in the hospital. And she had the ex-husband, Frank. Pastor Steph and I actually met him at a networking event. Very, very humble, down to earth gentleman. Very, very cool. And I walked up on him quoting his line from the movie. And he just looked at him like, nah. Yeah, this is how you got to walk up on people. Because, you know, nothing says, I appreciate your craft, like reciting their lines. What you think? No? I do! And I'm going to keep doing it. So it was really amazing to meet him and be able to get his feedback on even working within that film. And Juice came out in 92. Pastor Steph says that's when all movies had banging soundtracks. Right. Not only banging soundtracks, but a soundtrack. First of all, we don't really have movies then. And now it's like they just throwing songs and associating it with throwing up songs and associating it with the movie. Like, the songs have nothing to do with the movie. Back then, and this is why Pastor Steph says the soundtrack was banging, because each song was strategically written, orchestrated to fit the characters and the storyline of the movie. It went along with it. And they actually had music videos. You know what they were able to do? They were able to put clips of the movie into the video because it helped the video make even more sense, because the lyrics to the song already had something to do with the script of the movie. Okay? Yes, Pastor Steph says he is an amazing individual. Shout out to actor Eric Payne. Really looking forward to being able to dialogue with him again. Oh yes, Juice also starred Queen Latifah as the DJ host. And when they had the DJ mix, that served, you know, the DJ contest served as the alibi that the boys used for when they went to go rob old man Quilles. Okay, Lady Tamika asked, what? No Harlem Nights, Coming to America, Life. What are we doing here? Well, we're going to hit up a few more. Let's see, Lady Tamika, if, you know, those movies are on here. Good morning, Teresa. How are you? All right, so let's go down See that? That's a good throwback. Poetic Justice, which came out in 93, starring Janet Jackson, starring Q-Tip, starring Tupac, starring that lady. What is that lady's name from? Again, this is another John Singleton classic. The one who played Doughboy and Ricky's mother in Boys in the Hood. She also played the salon owner in Poetic Justice. Also had a cameo of Maya Angelou. Starred Regina King. Love her. She's come a long way from 227, y'all. She wasn't whack on 227. She was just a baby on 227. She's come a long way. Her acting chops. She is a phenomenal actress. I love me some Regina King. Also starring Joe Torre as Chicago. Remember him with the brush, always brushing that fade? Always brushing that fade. Yes, Pastor Steph said Old Man Quillas. Yes. But Poetic Justice, which premiered in 93. Really, really good movie. What's another one? Let's have another one. Menace to Society. Menace to Society, y'all. Come on, y'all. Starring Tyrone Turner as Kane. Starring starring Jada Pinkett, starring Samuel L. Jackson in the very beginning as Kane's father, starring, yes, Pastor Steph said, Old Dog. Let me tell you something about Menace to Society. There would be no Menace to Society without Old Dog, played by none other than Lorenz Tate. And I think this was the movie where they actually, because he came in and auditioned, the way he auditioned, they created that role for him. Now, Menace to Society, Tupac wanted to play Old Dog. Tyra Farrell, thank you, Anika. Yes, Tyra Farrell played Old Dog. Okay, wait, let's enter back. Doughboy and Ricky's mother in Boys in the Hood, and she also played the salon owner in Poetic Justice. Yes, thank you so much, Tyra Farrell. We're big on names, so this is why when I be drawing a blank, I get so annoyed. Yes, thank you. Yes, Bill Duke. Now, let me just tell you, you know you done messed up, right? You know you done messed up. The interrogation room scene in Menace to Society with Kane, again played by Tyrone Turner. Now, again, real quick. Tupac wanted to play Old Dog in Menace to Society, but the Hughes brothers, those are the ones who did Menace to Society, right? The Hughes brothers wanted him to play Sharif. Now, remember, Sharif was the friend who used to be an ex-knucklehead, and he went into some time, and now he's out, and he's all Islamic, and, telling his friend to stop using the N-word, and planning on moving out of town with Stacy, which was the football player and popular playboy of the Friends group. Yes, they wanted him to play Sharif, and Tupac was not with it. So he possibly could have been in the movie, very likely, very highly, but he turned that role down because he was not offered the role that he ultimately wanted. Now, we watched Tupac do his thing in Poetic Justice, gang-related, Juice. No one could have been Bishop like Tupac, but no one could have been Old Dog like Lorenz Tate. Stay in our lanes. Just because we killed the villain role in one movie does not mean that. Listen, Lorenz Tate wouldn't have been as dope as Bishop as he was as Old Dog. He was perfect as Old Dog. He was perfect for that role. That role was made for him. Menace to Society made its premiere in 1993. Again, y'all keep hearing the years, the 90s. Pastor Steph says Tyra Farrell also played in Jungle Fever. Yes, a Spike Lee joint starring... Wait, she did? Hold up. What role did Tyra Farrell play in that? That starred Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes, and Spike Lee had a little role up in that as well. It played Lynette McKee I love her. She's the one who played sister in the hit 70s movie Sparkle. Starring Samuel L. Jackson and Halle Berry. Halle Berry's first movie. Samuel L. Jackson. Come on, it starred Ozzy and Ruby Dee. Yeah, right. Yes, Tyra Farrell played the girlfriend of the Italian boy. Yes, she was the crush. Yes, completely. See, we talk about movie buffs. Yes. She was the one that he was all googly-eyed over, which is a funny little sub-storyline because, again, remember, Jungle Fever was all about this career guy, very successful black career guy played by Wesley Snipes, who then has an affair with the young white, she wasn't an intern, but the new assistant. So now you have another sub-storyline where you have the white Italian guy who now has a crush on the pretty black lady in the neighborhood. I forgot she played that role. Yes. Okay, let's get a couple of more. For some reason, I'm like, oh, wait, here's another movie that Pastor Steph has to... Jason's Lyric, starring Alan Payne, starring Bokeem Woodbine, starring Jada Pinkett, starring Tretch from Naughty by Nature, starring... Oh my goodness, what's her name? She starred opposite Nia Long in one of my favorite movies, Love Jones. Oh, I forgot her name. But yes, this movie made its premiere in '94. Starred Forrest Whitaker. Starred Suzanne Douglas. Forrest Whitaker and Suzanne Douglas played Alan Payne and Bokeem Woodbine's parents. Yes. Really starring Eddie Griffin. Yes, this movie is good, but it's like an acquired taste. Like, you do have to kind of be in the mood to watch Jason's Lyric. There's a whole lot to unpack with watching that movie. Now, you have to, it's almost like you got to be kind of like mentally ready to watch that. And for some reason, I'm feeling like this trivia is kind of serving as a storyline. Okay, we have another one. Okay, so wait, Jason's Lyric came out in '94. Another one, Crooklyn, '94. Starring, that's a Spike Lee joint. Starring Delroy Lindo, Alfre Woodard as the parent, starring Isaiah Washington. Spike Lee had a little cameo in this as well. Remember, he was sniffing the group, and the daughter went to go beat him up and address him because he was making fun of the fact that the mother passed. Yes. So we are going to pull up, before we hit a couple of more of these movies really quick, we are going to pull up our brother Ainsley, because again, he sits in with us for my 2 cents. Good morning, Ainsley.
Hey, good morning. Wagwan this morning, eh? Everything Irie?
How you doing this Friday morning?
Friday morning, everything Irie, Everything good, no?
I cannot. Okay, so this is actually serving as one of our main stories, because one of the reasons I couldn't really come across any good celebrity news. I do have one hit story that I've been wanting to talk about for a while, but with you sitting on with us with my 2 cents, really quick, let us know, God has chosen us, and as Christians, to understand how to appreciate the art behind Black Hollywood. Not to say that the other side of the fence don't serve up some real talent. At the same time, we know what this side of the fence has to offer, especially back in the 90s. Now, you can go a little further back than me, Brother Ainsley.
Oh boy, here you go.
I'm just saying, because see, I was born in the 80s. So, like now, not for nothing.
Back in the 80s, right? Okay.
Yes, but not for now. There are those times, and a lot of times, and because I grew up I was raised by movie buffs. I love watching black exploitation movies. I love the 70s movies. I love some 80 movies. But of course, being raised in the 90s, it's just nothing like them 90s movies and sitcoms. So which decade
say that.
would
You know what?
say?
I think that's like the movies, but to me, that's like one of the best eras of music, really. Also, too.
Oh, absolutely.
To me, like in
It goes
gospel
back-
and really like in R&B. To me, like the '90s. That's like to me, the '90s was it, man.
And that goes back to what Pastor Steph was saying about even how the soundtracks were hitting back in the 90s. And of course, because like you said, everything made a lot more sense back in the 90s.
Yeah, of course, man. Yeah. It was
A whole lot more sense back in the 90s. So before we hit a couple of new movies that's on this list, based on what has been mentioned already, the movies that's been mentioned already, which movies really stand out to you that you would really deem your favorite or amongst your favorites?
Yeah, I can't say one favorite because there's so much. There's so much to it. There's actually some movies I actually want to go back and look at because now I can appreciate a little bit more. Like I came across, for example, the movie Car Wash. That's a 70s movie, right?
Yes.
You know, I mean, I was a little kid then too, so I really can appreciate it that much then. But you know, I come to find out, you know how people post things, what they had to go through to make it happen.
Yeah.
So my understanding, it was actually filmed in a car wash, but because it was so noisy from the car wash machine, all of the lines had to be overdubbed later on.
Oh wow.
So therefore, that's what when they overdubbed it, they had the, you know, the version with all the foul language in it. Then they had the clean version. But all of that audio, all of the audio and stuff you hear, all that was not actually shot at the time because it was so noisy with the car wash scenes going on. That's how they do it, man. So I wouldn't want to go back and just listen to it. Yeah, stuff like that. You like when you hear about it, you're like, wow, that's what they was going through, or that's how they did it and stuff. Yeah.
That's a fun fact. That puts me in the mind of the fun fact that we learned about a couple of years ago in regards to the movie The Five Heartbeats, a Robert Townsend production starring Robert Townsend, Leon, oh my goodness, I'm drawing blanks again with names. And John Witherspoon starred in that as well. And when you Michael Wright and Robert Townsend said that they had to film that movie backwards because of the facial hair. So instead of shaving and now filming it chronologically from the beginning and now waiting for everyone's,
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yes. So when we watched the movie, the end was the beginning of the filming. And they had to go way backwards. And when we watched that movie, to think, because of course, all great movies is a build-up.
Yeah.
So when you're acting, you would think that now what helps my delivery, what helps,
right.
yes, is the fact that we're building on these
you get into the scene, you get into
on these scripts. Right. But to have to start at a high and now we have to work our way backwards, that gave so much credit to their acting chops. So much credit.
Wow.
Yes, so much credit. So I have a question. After we hit a couple of more of these movies, but yes, it was just like, wow, really? It had a lot to do with it. So, okay, so you mentioned Car Wash, which is actually one of Pastor Steph's favorite movies.
Right. One of my favorites, actually, is Harlem Nights.
Okay, Lady Tamika brought that up.
Yeah, because you bring it, man. It has so many legends, the old and the new coming in, man. And particularly predominantly black cast. And I remember you mentioned Eddie Murphy was not Coming to America. when it was just all black cast, and he called flack for that. And it's like, all these movies had all these all white cast. Oh, it ain't a problem. Well, when we do it, oh my God, what? We ain't got it on. Oh,
right.
Oh my goodness.
Heart attack time.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, but you know what? I think it has everything to do with the fact that you guys cannot profit from this, whether it's financially, whether it's verbally. There's no bragging rights you can get because you guys have absolutely nothing to do with it.
You always got one to have their hands in it, and manipulate the story this way or that way. No, it's just this was actually by us and for us, for everybody, but it's by us totally.
Exactly. Yes. Okay. Oh wait. Thank you, Pastor Steph. Harry Lennox played Dresser. Show him Dresser. Yes, Harry. I love that. Anika says Alfre Woodard is her favorite actress. Again, she's the one who played the mother in the Spike Lee movie Brooklyn. Yes, Alfre Woodard is a phenomenal actress. She really got me.
Oh yeah, she gets down.
Heart. Yes, Holiday Heart, opposite Big Ring. She really got me then. Pastor Steph says Condor Curtis Hall. I'm not sure who that is. Or maybe it'll come to me. So really quick, Brother Ainsley, before we hit the story, the main story that I had, the only story I felt was actually worthy of this morning.
Only one.
Bad Boys. Bad Boys, starring Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, Teresa Randall. Oh my goodness, what's his name that played Captain? I love him. This premiered in 1995, and again, such an amazing hit. They then went on to, of course, come out with 2, 3, and 4. Now, Bad Boys 2, there's been some discrepancy because I've had some intense back and forth with which Bad Boy was better, 1 or 2. Which one would you say, brother?
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I think the best ones are 1 and 2. Obviously, to me, 1 and 2. The others
out of 1 and 2, which one do you think? Because there's 4. Out of 1 and 2, which one would you say is the best?
Maybe 2. That's a hard one. Now I gotta give it to the original because if the 1 wasn't good, there wouldn't be no 2. So I'll go with number 1.
I hold on. Let's see. Oh, see. Now we got some controversy going on. Okay. Anika says, I still say Bad Boys, the original was the best.
That's me. There you go.
Says Bad Boys 2. I still say the first one is the absolute best. 2 had some amazing storyline. It also featured Gabrielle Union, who was really, really good in that movie. Again, the storyline for 2 was great, of course, but it's just something about the first one that was just like, I can quote both, but the funniest lines were in the first one. In my little opinion. Okay, Pastor Steph says Conde Curtis Hall played in Coming to America, played in Crooklyn, and Dre and Tasha's dad. Oh yes, on South Central series. Yes. In Coming to America, he was the one who was bowing down to Eddie Murphy in the basketball arena at the bathroom. I will remember this for the rest of my life. For the rest of my life. Yes.
And you know what? And another thing, talking about movies, I think was pretty good. Boomerang, right?
Yes.
Right. The Mamba, like this is why it's like when you have us in control and we want something to happen. That one of iconic characters is John Witherspoon. You got to coordinate your clothes and whatnot. And Eddie Murphy, he wanted him in there, and if I'm not mistaken, I think he paid extra for them to put him in there, and told him, he said, "What's my lines?" And Eddie said, "Just go for it."
Yes, that whole Thanksgiving table scene was improv.
That was all made up. There was no script for that. And it turns out to be very iconic. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that whole Thanksgiving table scene was improv, and when you go back and watch it after learning it was all improv, like you said, Brother AZ, it makes for an even more dynamic scene. So hold on, wait, we have some more beef. We have some more beef going on in these comments, Brother AZ. Teresa says, I love 2, Bad Boys 2. She said that white girl got on my nerves and won. Okay, Anika says, that was the point at Teresa. You remember her. Yeah. What was her name in part 1? Julie. Yes, Julie was supposed to be, that memorable character, because again, the whole time they were trying to save her from herself. Before they were trying to save her from the bad guys, they had to keep saving her from her. He had to lie and say that he was Mike in order for her to even go with him to protective custody. Then all of the things they had to do, then they had to save her from killing the guy in the nightclub and save her from that. And they done hooked the guy on the freeway because they had to flee. She was a headache, but it still ain't nothing like one. Still ain't nothing like part 1. Pastor Steph says, Julie got on my nerves too, Teresa. You know what? Y'all must stop hating on Julie. Julie made it up out of that hotel suite to tell the story so that they can apprehend the men who killed. What was the best friend's name? Max.
Oh, okay.
Yes. The one that Mike asked for her to look into whoever was spending money and all of that, because that most likely would have led them to the ones who stole the drugs from the precinct. So yes, y'all must stop hating on Julie. She's part of the reason why I love 1, because her annoying habits wouldn't have made Martin and Will Smith so funny. Their characters so funny. If it wasn't for all that chaos, okay? Yes, but we thank y'all for going back to memory lane. Hold on, Brother Izzy, I thought I saw one more here. So Bad Boys came out in 95. Of course, they have Friday on the list. They have Dead Presidents on the list. Also starring Lorenz Tate, Chris Tucker. Oh my
There's
goodness.
probably some more that I can't think of right now.
There are tons of them. They have Vampire in Brooklyn, which used to be one of my favorites of crazy comedy movie. Of course, they have Set It Off, Thin Line Between Love and Hate, which is a Martin Lawrence production, which is actually like his version to a Boomerang. Another Playboy type movie, and then the tables end up getting flipped. Yes.
Did you mention Do the Right Thing?
No, actually, because they're going in order of like the years they came out. Do the Right Thing was what, 80s? They're showing movies that now came out in like late 90s, like the Nutty Professor.
I think they're doing the anniversary of Do the Right Thing.
Really?
In Best Style, yeah.
Really? Oh wait, they have Baps on here. And I remember Pastor Steph just saying earlier this week she wasn't interested in seeing Halle Berry with gold teeth. That had me dying because the whole movie she had these gold teeth. Wait, Lady Tamika says I would have killed her myself for letting her dog pee on the couch. End of series. Bad Boys. Yes, remember Will Smith got mad because the dog was all over. Yes. So thank you, Pastor Steph. Keith David. He's the one that starred in Dead Presidents. He also played the father in Greenleaf. He's an actor who's been acting for years. Keith David for years. Black Panther didn't make the list. Lady Tamika asking, probably did, but again, of course, this list is long. Because we're just that dope. But we're gonna have to actually revisit this list because this gives a good reminder, like you said, Brother AZ, even like, oh wait, I want to go back and watch that. Like I said the other day, I was watching Boomerang, and That's a movie that I grew up watching from when I was little, way too young to even understand what they was talking about. So when I watched it, when I got older and understood what was taking place within the storyline, I was like, wait, they are dumb. They are. It's just amazing to see all of that coming to fruition, and really has something for these Black filmmakers, actors, and actresses to really go back to, because I don't know what's going on the big screen now. It's like now it just needs to be lit on fire, in my opinion. Nothing is really being produced of any type of really good quality, especially on a consistent basis.
Okay, one last one.
Yes.
I just wanted to mention it. You mentioned Halle Berry. What was the movie? It was a Spike Lee movie. I think her and Sam Jackson. I think they played
Jungle Fever.
Jungle Fever. All right.
Yes,
Yeah, but
yes, they did have that on the list.
But I remember
Yes.
that I remember saying for the prep for that, they went and hung out with the crackheads
Yes.
like for a week. Seriously,
And that was
really.
Halle Berry's first role. Yes. Yes. Like you said, they did report that, that's how they did their character study. And I know about wanting to be amazing at my craft, but I don't know about hanging out at the crack house.
That's the dedication. That's it.
Yeah.
That's their lane. This
Right.
is your lane.
Right. I always just had to watch some VHS tapes or something. I don't know. Or go to the rehab meetings or something. I don't know about chilling up at the crack house. I don't know. Oh, wait, hold on. We have our brother Al really quick before we go on to our story. Is he able to come on and give his favorite Black throwback movie? Let's see.
I know he got something.
Yes. Good morning, brother Al.
Top of the morning. Excuse the echo. I'm at the school. I had to come in and exit here. It's quiet.
You know what? No
Hey.
problem. So with you being an actor, and we're talking about the best Black throwback movies, give us your favorite.
Oh
One
man,
that's your favorite.
I would say man, there's a few of them, but I love New Jack. I love New Jack City. I do. I love New Jack City. You didn't build this Shontyce by yourself.
Yes, when he had to suck it up and shoot his homeboy G Money. Absolutely. Yes. Okay, and that was actually on the list, of course, Brother Al. They had to make sure that they put that on the list. You can't have a throwback Black movie list without movies like New Jack City. Okay? So we have our news story, our celebrity news story this morning, with something that I came across, I think it was last week, and was really baffled at this. So you have singer, songwriter, now Bishop Marvin Sapp, who has signed a distribution deal through Rock Nation. Now, there was even some controversy during his installation service, but we're going to come back to that, right? So he has signed a major distribution partnership with Rock Nation for his 17th studio album and his 9th live recording album, which is entitled Restoration, and is actually scheduled to be released this fall of 2026. I believe this September of 2026. Right? So y'all know Marvin Sapp. Never would have made it. Yeah, that Marvin Sapp, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's signed with Rock Nation in order to distribute this 17th studio and 9th live recording album. So this partnership actually marks Rock Nation Distribution's first full-length gospel project, marking the first time one of this genre, the gospel genre's most influential voices, will release a project through Rock Nation, which is owned by none other than Jay-Z. This is his entertainment company, which is in association with Live Nation. So I just wanted to make sure, God has us big on definitions. So when you have a music distribution deal, it's an agreement between the artist or the independent label and the distributor, where the artist or the independent label hires the distributor to put music onto digital platforms and physical stores. But as we know, there are no more record stores, so everything is digital. So the artist or the independent label hires the distributor to put their music onto digital platforms. They collect the earnings, they pay out royalties, the distributor, right? So on the platform, the distributor will collect the earnings and the distributor will pay out the royalties. One of the main features for working with the distributor is that as the artist or the independent label, you still get to keep your ownership of your masters. You earn higher royalty splits, and you still retain full creative control according to what they say, right? So your platform delivery as the distributor, you send the audio and the artwork out to, the digital services like Spotify, Apple Music, and of course they're saying physical retailers. But again, long go the days of physical music stores, record stores, right? The distributor then track the plays and the sales of, again, they collect the money, and then they send you, the artist or the independent label, your share, and your share can range anywhere between 70 to 90% of the earnings, and that gets sent right to you. Now, of course, there's pros and cons to everything. The con is that you, as the artist or the independent label, you must fund, you must plan, you must execute your own marketing, which is what you pretty much are willing to take on as an indie artist. Unless you pay the distributor more money to conduct those services. So those responsibilities are on you unless you pay the distributor to fund your project, plan your project, and to execute whatever marketing strategies and plans that you may have for your music project. Now, they're saying that this is a strategic goal because this partnership between Marvin Sapp and Roc Nation will expand Roc Nation's reach into the gospel and inspirational music genre. Because Roc Nation has, of course, they own. They manage artists, they distribute artist music. They also have a sports entity to the company. They have, there's so many different legs. They have scholarships that they offer for schooling. There's a whole lot that Roc Nation has under its belt. They're saying the partnership represents a larger effort to expand the gospel artists who have helped shape the genre. So of course they're aiming for someone like Marvin Sapp because he's been in the game for quite some time and is deemed successful. So again, Roc Nation serves as a record label. They serve as a talent agency, a media production firm, a clothing line, and like I said, they have the educational and philanthropic programs. So I was able to actually come across a quote from Marvin Sapp. He says, quote, "God has blown my mind during every step of my career. Partnering with Roc Nation to distribute my music is something that I would have never thought possible. Yet it is another reminder that, as the scripture says, with God, all things are possible," end quote. So before I go any further, I would love to get your thoughts, gentlemen, and your thoughts in the chat community. Let me know what you think. Brother Ainsley, what are your thoughts on Marvin Sapp partnering up with Roc Nation to distribute his next album?
Well, first of all, I think the first thing what may come to mind is you think, okay, how is a gospel artist is now linking up with Jay-Z, with the Jay-Z operation? But it's more to it. But it's more to it than that, because even back in the day, previous artists in the past, they get their music out before the digital realm. We actually had singles and albums. The process is recording, but now you gotta get those albums out. And how you get this out is distribution. Your label try to get that physical item out, available to the public. And so, of course, that wasn't necessarily Christian owned. It was just regular, the same record companies that was producing R&B, rock, and everything else. They were just doing the gospel as well. If they can make money off of it, so be it. You know what I'm saying? So to me, this is a little bit more so than it's the whole from creativity to the listener's ears is coming via from outside of the fence, if you will. About details. And as you mentioned, we think of distribution, how it's to me, there's less of a need for the distribution as we know it, because now everything is digital. For people coming up now, you don't have to have a major label. You can do this stuff on your own, and there are
Yes.
services that will distribute to your material to the various platforms. Like you say, Spotify, Apple Music, Google, Amazon. They do all that, and even overseas. And of course, for a cut and stuff like that, and you retain creative control. The thing is, though, after going with a major, it takes a lot of effort to really to promote, to get your stuff known. It's not enough to have the recording. It's not enough just to have the distribution, but people got to know about it to want it, and stuff like that. So I think having the name of a Rock Nation, they have the template. They already have the infrastructure to put stuff out already, gives them an upper hand than somebody who just trying to do it on their own and going to a service. And I think this is what Marvin Sapp is taking advantage of. There's the infrastructure already there, and you gain more creative control. So it's interesting, but it's really the devil's in the details on how it goes, and how really my main concern would be then is, does the distribution really affect the creativity? Is the message going to change because it's going through Rock Nation? Does he really have full creative control? You know what I'm saying? That's my real question.
Well, those are some good questions, and there are actually different forms of distribution deals. One where you keep creative control, one where you turn over your creative control, and the distributor has more access to your funds, your earnings. Brother Al, and we're gonna come back to your questions, Brother Ainsley, because your questions actually had the wheels in my head turning last night as I was reading more into this. But Brother Al, what are your thoughts in regards to this bishop, this who originally started out as a musician in the gospel genre, and now he has partnered up with Rock Nation?
Yeah, what say you, bro? What say you?
Owned by
Rick,
Jay-Z to distribute his album.
if you notice the echo is going, I'm in my supply room because there was a lot of noise out there with the kids. But I think is I do have like some of the questions like what Ainsley had, but I think it's okay, because again, when you look at any record label or things like that, they have different divisions. You got a rap division, you got an R&B division. So what's wrong with having a gospel division? He's well known as well as Jay-Z. So it ain't like they got to do. It's not like they have to do a big pushing. Like he's a new artist. Everybody know Marvin Sapp, so his name itself sells his work. I do like that he gets to have control over his masters. That's one thing that a lot of artists had problems with. They didn't have their masters. The person who or company or whatever owned their masters. So he do get to own his masters. But like I said, I would like to know more details on the contract as well. Am I'm still gonna have my creative control? Am I? Do I still got to say so on what's going on? I mean, I guess some people look at it, oh, it's Jay-Z, it's about rap, this and that. But like you say, he's stepping his foot in a little bit of everything, the sports, so why not have a gospel division? That's just like you got any other company and they say, you know what, we're going to start a gospel division, So again, those questions that Ainsley asked, I would like to know too, but I think it's a good step overall though. I think it's a good move.
Okay.
I got one more question to actually put on to that too.
Yes.
All right, now we're talking about Jay-Z and Rock Nation and everything like that, right? And there always been other record company distribution deals and whatnot. But here's a question: how long have gospel music been going on? We got our own businesses. What happened to the black label and our own black gospel distribution? Where now there's even a need for our music to have to even be considered going to a Rock Nation.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that's another really good question that we will make sure we get back to. Let's pull up our Pastor KL. Now I know he knows who Marvin Sapp is.
Yeah,
Good
what
morning,
say
Pastor
him?
KL.
What say him?
Good morning.
How are you?
I never would have made it.
You know, so what are your thoughts? I'm not sure. Maybe this is your first time hearing, or maybe you've come across this. Like I said, I came across this last week in regards to Marvin Sapp partnering up with Jay-Z's Rock Nation Entertainment agency, company, label to distribute his 17th studio and 9th live recording album that is set to release this September, God spares. What are your thoughts in Marvin Sapp partnering up with Jay-Z's Rock Nation?
I think it's definitely a business strategy. The one who really wins is Jay-Z. He can't lose. Now you just added something else to his platform. Mm-hmm. See, my question would be, for Marvin was, what's the sacrifice that he had to do to get here? For the love of money is the root of all evil. So, I mean, Jay-Z's already established in things that he does. Everything might not be on the up and up, but now you're going into this other world to promote your stuff. The word says, don't let your good be evil spoken of. So because you're trying to have a come up or you're trying to cross over, to get another type of audience, it's just a lot of questions I would have for Marvin. Jay-Z can't lose. It's just money stacking on money. Even if he makes $5 from Marvin, that's $5 more than what he had. And he's already who he is. Good, bad, or indifferent. But Marvin, you're supposed to be representing a certain style. Saying, what are you sacrificing to come across this way?
More questions that we're going to have to make sure we address. Really quick, we have a check-in from Sheldon. Good morning. He's going back to our black throwback movies. He says Paid in Full is number 1 on the East and Straight Outta Compton is number 1 on the West Coast. Okay. Both gangster movies, both with heavy hitters starring in them. And Straight Outta Compton actually starred Ice Cube's son, and he did a phenomenal job for those who watch it. If you haven't watched it, go make sure you watch Straight Outta Compton. Okay. But yes, along with the questions, and I would love to get into the questions that were put on the floor by Brother Ainsley and Pastor KL. One of the things that really caught my attention was when I was reading up on exactly what a distribution deal is. And the first set of words was a music distribution deal is an agreement. And as soon as I read that, the first thing that came to mind was agreement. When I decide to come into agreement with something, and I believe that's what Pastor KL was touching on. When I decided to come into agreement with you, what are we agreeing on, first and foremost, when we're already sitting on two opposite sides of the music fence? Like Pastor KL said, it has to have everything to do with money first and foremost. Because other than that, there's no correlation. There's no similarity. There's no, as it was stated, and as even when you go and look up, Rock Nation does not manage nor do they distribute gospel music. Now, this is one of my first questions, because I have my own set of questions. But what do you gentlemen think in regards to that, Brother Al? When I'm coming into agreement to work with you, what does that mean for me as someone? Because it could be in agreement with anything. I, as a Christian man, can be coming into agreement to work with another Christian person. But what does that mean in regards to me coming into agreement with whatever we're supposed to be agreeing on? I'm about to pull the definition of agree as you give your thing.
Yeah, like I said, yeah, what are we agreeing on? And that's one of the biggest things. Okay, this thing is an agreement. What are we agreeing on? I would presume that we're agreeing on, okay, you're putting this out there, how much you're going to get per unit, as well as how much I'm going to get. Are you, as you putting it out there, is it 50-50? How many albums I sell, you get half of that, and I get the other half. So, yeah, those are correct. What are we agreeing on? What are we agreeing on? And I'm quite sure it's, again, money. How much I'm going to get and how much you're going to get for putting this out for me.
Yes.
Doing all the work.
Yes. So when we look up the word agreement, it's a shared understanding, a matching opinion, or a mutual arrangement between two or more people or groups. When people agree on something, or when they write down a plan or promise that they will share. Brother Ainsley.
Yeah, well, it's got to make sense. No matter what you agree upon, it's got to make sense. And it has to be for a reason to come together. Now, when we talk about agreement in a biblical sense or spiritual sense, we tend to be like touch and agree that we're on the same thing, which is true. In reality and practical, of course, we have to deal and work with those who may not share our same faith or belief, or maybe people who maybe just be agnostic or just have any type of belief, but we still have an agreement with them and stuff like that. I have several agreements, if you will, with those who are not quote Christian, but we have an agreement, and those terms are solidified, for every set. So there will be no discrepancy later on, But again, we talk about gospel music. We talk about the message. I'm really curious to know what the more of the details of it, because okay, so because there's money involved, so it's got to be for a certain period of time. They can't be like, for example, oh, I can end this tomorrow for one. No, you probably can't, because either for either party. Marvin said, he can put all this money and he's gonna probably be responsible for the recording. It's gonna be hundreds of thousands of dollars, and for the marketing advertisement that he probably gonna be responsible for. And he don't want to hear Rock Nation decide the last minute, no, we're not going to distribute that. You know what I'm saying? So it's got to be a period of time. Then again, is Rock Nation going to stand behind them and say Marvin Sapp, he say he's getting to some real uh preaching, getting to some real word, that may ruffle some people's feathers, is Rock Nation still going to stay with them and say, yeah, we're going to continue to distribute your music despite controversy? Some people don't want controversy. You know what I'm saying? And some people don't want to hear it. But the agreement is you distribute my stuff. So are they still going to stand behind them no matter what? You know? So those are the terms and agreements. I really like to know what it's all about. And like Brother Kale said, it's like I gotta see. So what's a sacrifice? Because again, to me, I think you're already a name. You're already established. You already got the physical CDs and stuff out there. Was there really? I'm like, what is the real need here? You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, Brother Ainsley, because that's what I kept thinking. I'm like, all right, Jesus, I'm reading what this is supposed to mean.
No, why?
I'm reading that this is your 17th studio album and your 9th live recording album. You need help distributing your music from anybody, whether it's Jay-Z, Ricky from down the block, Shorty Tim from across the street, whomever. You need help on your 17th album. Not only that, Jay-Z, once upon a time, pulled his music from these same platforms that you're now paying him to put your music on. He bought the platform Tidal, however you pronounce it, so that he could make more money from streaming, because we know that there's really no money in streaming. I read something last night, like if
it's nothing.
Platform, it's like 0.00437 cents per play.
They ain't making no money.
Right. These artists make their money with shows and appearances and all of that. You as Marvin Sapp need anyone's help to distribute your music, Pastor KO. When you hear that a distribution deal means I now come into agreement, and real quick, I'm gonna read the biblical definition of coming into agreement. Is when you have a shared mind, a deep harmony, a sacred promise between you and another person, or you and God, that goes far beyond a legal deal, because it means that you're walking together in truth and in peace. Is Pastor KL frozen? I think he's frozen. And I think that goes back to one of the questions you just asked. Oh, wait. Pastor KL?
Hear me?
Oh, wait. Hold on. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yeah. So this is what I would say. So let me give you this example. A lot of you guys know that I work at a store, and sometimes we get people, like I joked yesterday about the essays, who we don't speak the same language. Mm-hmm. But we all understand. Listen, they don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what they're saying. But when they ask you how much and you say $5, they know $5. They know the dollar amount. So seemingly, Jay-Z and Marvin Sapp, they don't speak the same language. There must be a translator, but the common denominator is money. And to me, being in the gospel world, that's a problem. When you're stepping over just for the money, then you are sacrificing something. You are leaving stuff on the table. You are making people guess who you are and who you really serve. It's again, Jay-Z is in a no-lose situation. No lose. But Marvin Sapp is putting himself in a position where they will now second guess who he is or whose he is.
Well, this is the same now bishop who at his installation service, he allowed, what's his name? the controversial pastor who wanted to put weed in the churches, the weed business in the church. And then we did the story, Vivian and I did the story of his wife, him and his wife showing up at the gala, and she had like the
Jamal Bryant.
Yes, thank you, Jamal Bryant. Where Jamal Bryant preached that Jesus was sinful for 80% of his life. He preached that at Marvin Sapp's bishop installation service. And of course, it was the big controversial topic of Marvin Sapp telling them to lock the doors when it was time to give tithes and offering for like the third or fourth time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, do we speak the same language? We're not supposed to be. But do we? Because you've already been showing signs of compromising who and what you're supposed to be standing for and on. And I know for me, when I saw this headline, it was just like, what? But it really wasn't all that shocking. I didn't read CeCe Winans signed the Rock Nation. I didn't read Mary signed the Rock Nation. That would have thrown me. That would have thrown me. But when I read this, it was just like more of a, here we go again, than a what? You know, it unfortunately, because you've already been showing signs that you speak the same language. Now, with all of the things that Jay-Z has been associated with, his name coming up in the Epstein files and all of this, and now you're agreeing to be in a promise with this person to where now, and Pastor Steph and I was just speaking about this on Monday, to where regardless of what happens, God may very well keep it to where you're going to have to keep your word. So something could jump off, and now it look like Jay-Z could be representing something that may tarnish your Christian brand, but because you willingly made this commitment, God may very well keep your feet still and keep you there, and that'll be a huge part of your consequence. Just like we spoke about with King Herod, when he promised the stepdaughter, I'll give you whatever you want, not knowing she was going to want John the Baptist's head on a platter. Well, she didn't want it, the mother wanted it, but he didn't know that was going to be the request. So now you're walking into this, and like I think it was Brother Ainsley who was saying it. What are the terms? So now when I want to step out on something that's supposed to be enforcing my Christian brand, is that now are you going to look at it tarnishing your worldly brand? Because now I'm not supposed to be with people smoking weed and drinking and all of that. That's what you stand for. You stand for all of this. Part of this, Rock Nation has a cannabis entity.
I always say, don't you have vodka too? So we playing gospel music at the vodka event?
They have a cannabis entity. You as a Christian are supposed to be against cannabis. They have a whole cannabis business within the same company. But yet you done signed your name on the dotted line verbally and literally to now work with this person. So again, my question was the same exact, one of my main questions, the same thing as Brother Ainsley. What is the real benefit here? Because you're not going to tell me that with you being all this successful, you now need help distributing music on platforms that, as Brother Ainsley so well put it, I could get on today and put something on iTunes. I've done it.
No, who was his distribution beforehand?
Say it again. I'm sorry.
So who was his distribution before?
Exactly.
So
and this is your 17th album. You are already an established person. There's so many different things, even in the godly, the spiritual realm, that has to do with this person, with Jay-Z, that is very questionable. Things that make you go, We have a comment by Pastor Grace. She said, how can two walk together except they agree? Jay-Z and Marvin Sapp, I don't get it. So Pastor Grace is asking the same thing we asking. How and why does this make sense? How did you get to making this decision?
And like you said too, is it that he's starstruck? Oh, I get to be on Jay-Z label, or something, because again, like you said, I didn't know that part. I know he had a few albums, but I'm like, wow, 17 albums? You already established. You know how the business works. You know how this go. So again, either you starstruck and be like, oh man, I get to be down with Jay-Z. They making money, and it's about the money. Hey, I'm gonna make all this money. And like you say, you looking at all the things that's going on. He got a vodka thing. He got a cannabis thing. And I mean, Pastor KL got a cannabis business, but that's different.
Oh my goodness! Not only that, something else that that has been irritating me for a while now, and Brother Ainsley's questions have solidified this feeling. Pastor Kale's points have solidified this feeling. Why is it that we, as the godly people, are going to the world for help? Now, I understand that we are not self-contained people. We, as in humans, we all need help at some point with something. However, especially to this degree, where you are now a huge part of my career, you're supposed to be a huge part as to helping. I'm coming to you and I'm paying you to now get the masses. It's like, I don't think we really be understanding what we be doing. I am paying you to make sure that they, he, she get to hear my music. But this is something that God gave to me.
Okay, let me tell you this. Well, look, it's like, I think this would be clear. For on a mass scale, distribution is needed. I mean, almost every artist, Kirk Franklin, CC1, we all need distribution. It's absolute necessary to get it out. Otherwise, it ain't going nowhere. All right. And the thing is, for the mass scale, yes, you can do it by yourself. Yes, you can make it available. But how available really is it to the masses? Do the masses know about it? It really takes a team. The more of established team effort, to make this whole operation work. Yes, he's the main artist and the creativity behind it and stuff like that. But to get that out to the world, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of team effort has to go into it to bring it to that scale. And so the question is, I hear what you're saying. We're not, as I mentioned before, what happened to the gospel distribution? What happened to that infrastructure by now, particularly? I know the other RCA, there's always a Sony thing. Anytime there's a way to make money, people are going to have their hands in it and stuff like that. But again, it makes you wonder, what happened to the legacy Black distribution deals on a social media scale now? Where is that happening? So therefore, all right, there isn't no question. Okay, now I got it with somebody who has cannabis and vodkas and who's doing all sorts of things. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think the big question is, where is our own distribution? That's morally correct.
Right, because the distribution need isn't what's questionable. It's who's distributing who I'm choosing to distribute what's supposed to belong to me.
So we all, in fact, all four of us, we're in the business. We're in the performing business. You have to look at it from we're in the business. It's the crossover. I hear Brother Ainley saying, where the gospel distribution. Yeah, that'd be great. But Jay-Z has a broader because Marvin Sapp already got the gospel folks. He already got the gospel folks. Now he's crossing over, or he wants to cross over to get the rest of the folks. He wants to be the Kirk Franklins, you know what I'm saying, who has the gospel and the world. Because you'll hear Stomp in the club, or you understand what I'm saying? He wants the BB and CC Winans. Now listen, not sure if y'all guys ever did the history about BB and CC Winans, but if you listen to their songs, they never say Jesus.
Jesus, right?
They
right,
never
right.
say God. They never say that. You never hear Jesus or God. So what does that mean? They are a crossover artist. Marvin Sapp needs the Jay-Z to become a crossover artist because he's too churchy. He's too Jesus. He's too God. And he wants to get to the other side. So this is all a business thing. But, again, what does it profit a man to gain the whole wide world and lose its soul?
Hey, look, also, don't be surprised on his album, Jay-Z feature a rap on one of his songs.
Yes.
Don't be
Right.
surprised. Don't be
Yes.
surprised. And this opened my eyes to so, Pastor Cal and Ainsley, we need to have a conversation. We need to get together and start this gospel distribution thing ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We can do this and keep it on the up and up. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what Pastor Steph just asked. Why not put your money together and create your own distribution?
Absolutely.
This is your 17th album.
Absolutely.
17. You are not an indie artist. You are a household name already, regardless of the genre. Whether it's Marvin Sapp, the Christian artist, Marvin Sapp, the rock artist, Marvin Sapp, the alleyway artist, you are already known. You don't need anybody to distribute your music, regardless of who it is. You don't need it. But here's the problem, and Pastor Kale just said it. Because I want to be like so-and-so. Because I want to cross over. Let me tell you, from someone who used to frequent the clubs very often, and I could be wrong, and I'll ask the Holy Spirit to correct or confirm. It wasn't Kirk Franklin's intention to get Stomp played in the club. Our neighbors was blasting some music last week. I am blessed every day. And I was like, do you hear what they're playing? And she was like, no. And I started imitating how this gets addressed in the club, how people dance to this in the club. Now, I would be in the club Friday night and the DJ would play that. And then Sabbath morning, the next morning, I'm in church. And now we in there singing it as a hymn. Okay? It wasn't on purpose. This is just because they see that the generation or the people are gravitating to this song. The DJs will play it. The DJs are going to play whatever's going to make them relevant in the club. Because DJs, especially in the popular cities like New York, Vegas, Atlanta, are a dime a dozen. So if I gotta play Hindu music to make sure that my name gets booked, I'ma do it. Okay? So now this gets played in the club. And now because everyone loves Stomp in the club, now when I'm in the house cleaning, I'll play Stomp. But then, he got other songs too. Oh snap! Now I end up liking his whole album, but it wasn't intentional especially for a Stomp, which came out in the 90s, to be played in the club in the 2000s. I wasn't in the club in the 90s; I was too young. But by the time I started clubbing in the 2000s, that was not that it wasn't planned for that. So now here, because you want to cross over, which did God tell you to cross over? Okay.
Well, Al's a DJ. He can tell you that. What you doing that, Al?
Well, here's the thing. I was waiting for Shontyce to finish. I always say it's about the person and what you stand for. Just to give you a perfect example, you including myself, right? Everybody know, I always talked about me playing basketball. And as I got older, I did switch over to coaching, right? Then I got hired by a high school. My name was out there about good coach, how to take care of the kids, make sure the kids' grades are good. when a high school wanted to hire me to coach, I couldn't get the job. The reason I couldn't get the job because I don't have a teacher's license. So now what's happening with the PSAL, they've made a deal with the teachers union that only a person with a teacher's license can coach basketball, right? So now I'm like, I don't want to be a teacher, so I guess that's not going to happen. So now what a lot of schools are doing, they're getting teachers to put their name down. Okay, they're getting teachers to put their name down. They'll be put down as head coach, but then I will be able to coach. My thing is, with my kids, you have to have an 80 average and higher to play ball. PSAL, you only got to have a 65. So because of my morals, I said, I'm not going to do that because that defeats my purpose of what I'm trying to do. So I've had school where we got to teach your name down and you can coach. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. So that's why I say it depends on what your morals are, what you stand for. I could have been the coach of a high school. I mean, I didn't want coach of the year. I done got crazy championships on all different levels, but I'm not willing to say, okay, you know what, that teacher's name is down, so you know what, I'll go ahead and coach. Because now my kids only got to have a 65. So if I'm saying an 80 and I say they can't play, they go to the rules. Well, I only got to have a 65, and then I go through a whole bunch of drama. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. So I won't make that money or do that. So it's about the ground that you stand. And like you said, Marvin Sapp, you got this your 17th album. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like it's your first album. It's not like people don't know you. So it's about the morals. And it's so sad when they come to that almighty dollar, but people just sell their soul.
Yes. And we've been witnessing a lot of this. We've been witnessing a lot of gospel, whether you're a music artist, film, whatever. I want to be linked to, it was the whole thing with Diddy and what's his name? TD Jakes. It's like I want to be linked to who the world deems popular, and it's like if we're supposed to be set apart, we're supposed to be set apart. If we're supposed to be the trendsetters, if we're supposed to be the peculiar ones, why is it that we just always seem to find a way to intertwine ourselves with the other side? Lady Tamika says, we have seen how one rumor can ruin a celebrity, secular or gospel. This is not a necessary evil. There's a lot that you are signing up for that money can't redeem you from. Absolutely, because we ain't heard nothing from TD Jakes since the whole sex party scandal. There were a few headlines of TD Jakes at Diddy sex parties. We ain't hear from him since. Now, whether they were true or not, your name has been associated. Why? Because the main question kept popping up. What were you doing there, sir, after a certain time? When even Denzel has said, after 10 p.m., I'm out. Now, this was a secular person. This same secular person, there was a video circulating on social media of Jay-Z trying to talk to Denzel. And when I tell you, you would have thought Jay-Z killed Denzel's mother, the way he wouldn't even turn around and acknowledge that man. He kept putting his hand out to shake it. The way Denzel would not even turn around. You would have thought Jay-Z was invisible. And one of the things people put in the comments was, he knows that by even shaking your hand, that means it looks like I'm coming into agreement with you or something. Even if it's just to say what up. Oh, hey, what's up? They were at a basketball game. Oh, hey, what's up? Da, 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 da. Well, for whatever the reason was, now Denzel is publicly professing God and Jesus and all that. But that wasn't his brand. That was not Denzel Washington's brand. For how many years Denzel Washington was popping? Here you came out and this was supposed to be your brand. And now you think you doing something by signing with this person who is tied to demonic forces. Him and his wife is tied to serving other gods. And this is the reason why their success in the world is so high. This is what they're known for. And now you're signing with this, verbally and physically agreeing to be in cahoots with this. As As we sign off, gentlemen, please give your thoughts. As Pastor KO said, each of us here, including Pastor Steph, who is on in the back, she's singing in the background. We are all artists in more than one genre. Please give your word of advice to those who God calls his peculiar, chosen, set apart people in regards to how and who we are supposed to bind ourselves to. Brother Al.
Yeah, man, if you're proclaiming God and you are serving God, then you have to separate yourself. You know, even as me being an actor, I have got offered certain things. I'm like, no, I ain't doing that. You crazy. You know, it ain't even nothing to talk about. Well, we gonna pay you this and that. Okay, that's fine, but no, sir, I ain't doing it. And you know, and you have to pray and ask God to give you that strength because the enemy knows. Okay, he knows I'm an artist. I know I'm an actor, a DJ, and so the enemy also knows. Okay, this is what Brother Al like. Let me send something his way, and we have to understand that the enemy is going to attack us. But then God said He will make the enemies our footstool. You know what I'm saying? So you have to sit there and think about what you're doing and pray to God. Say, if you're not sure, prayer always works. And God is this what you send me to do? Please give me a sign. You know, but you got to separate yourself from it. Don't let that money drag you to hell.
Amen. Thank you. Brother Ainsley.
You know, this is like for a while, I'll say this way, transparent moment. I mean, me and my wife, we had a different opinion about gospel music would intertwine with worldly music. You know, should have played like some worldly music. Or you change the words, put gospel in it. Is that okay? You know, and one of the things we really had to come to terms with for me is that just because you can do something does not mean you ought to do something, or should you do it. Just because you can do it and it makes sense and it may seem harmless, or I can make some money, but should you really do it? Is God really behind it? Did you really pray on that? Because once you put it out in the atmosphere, in the air, you can't retrieve it back. So I mean, caution needs to be had, and when you're making these deals, and it can't be just about the money. I think you really need to seek the face of the Lord, pray on this thing, and know without a doubt that He is guiding you to do this, or whatever you do. So in all things, you got to need to pray and seek His direction. Utterly, number one, and solely. That has to be the focus. Should I do this? Yeah, I can do this if I want to, but Lord, do you really want me to do this? Should I really? I know I can make money, and with the money, I can do this. I can build a church. I can do this kind of ministry. I can help the community. Does He really want you to do this? So that's the question. So I think we need to pray in all things that we do. But being an artist, like there's certain things like Brother Al said, there's certain things he's not going to do. There's certain things I won't do. Even back in the before, I didn't really want to deal with rap artists. My thing is, I find it kind of hard. Like on Sunday, I could play 3-4 services, but yet I got some music out with some artists, and he's talking about killing and degrading women. It's very hypocritical, So it just I can't do that. My conscience won't allow me to do that. So the thing is, pray on it. Everything you need to pray and seek God's direction first and foremost. That's it, regardless of the money or whatever, anything else.
Thank you, Pastor KL.
Well, with me, I guess I'm going to disturb your peace and make you quite uncomfortable, because you would only change and you would only see things from a different standpoint when you become uncomfortable in your situation. I would tell the listeners to stop blaming God for certain open doors. Just because the door is open does not mean it's God. I'm not sure where you live, but every day down here, there's a liquor store that's open every day. Don't mean God wants you to go in there. And a lot of times, we thank God for open doors. Thank God for open doors. Thank God for open doors. And then, seemingly, when it doesn't work out to how we think it was supposed to work out, we want to blame God. God, how did you let me go through this door? You walked through the door. I had nothing to do with the door. You walked through the door. But because the door was pretty, because the door was tantalizing, and because the door had something on the other side that you was interested in, you walked in there without getting counseling. You did it on your own. A lot of times we get into situations on our own. We don't get advice. This is just what we want to do. I want my money and I want it now. And all money is not good money. I tell people that all the time. When you die, you can't take the money with you. So why are you working 200 and 300 hours? I'm not understanding. And why are you doing certain things that you know is not of God? Here we have a bishop. Now, I'm not sure if y'all understand what bishop is. Your bishop is supposed to be over churches. You're supposed to be leading congregations, not just your church. You're over a bunch of folks. And you think it's okay to entangle with the world. So what are you saying to your people who are still struggling with sin? What are you saying to your people who are still struggling, with all type of stuff, with fornication, with lying, with stealing? What is the difference? There is no greater sin. The only sin that you can't come back from is suicide. So what are you saying to your people while you're doing this, and you're doing it in an open forum, and now you mad at me because I'm sleeping with Susie? There's no difference.
Oh gosh. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for, as always, as Pastor Steph loves to emphasize, taking us into such a thought-provoking weekend. You gentlemen made some really good points, asked some really good questions that really makes us consider not just other people's decisions, but our own. Thank you guys so much, and we pray that you have a blessed weekend.
Yeah, be good. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, real quick before we go, you guys make sure you pray for me. I go in for my surgery on Tuesday. My hernia surgery in my stomach, so y'all keep me in prayer.
Absolutely.
Most definitely, man.
Yes. Thank you for sharing, so we can make sure we lift you up. Have a great weekend, guys.
All right, bro. Take care.
Okay, so as I said, some really, really, really good questions being asked that make you, again, them things that make you go, I know it seems like we meaning God's people, none of us are perfect. For those of us who are striving to really get this thing right, we each have our own level of perfection that God knows we can get to. So you may be able to reach a higher mark than I am, but that doesn't mean that I can't be great as well. And if God knows that I can get to 93%, but I'm okay with operating at 70%, I get charged for that. Because he knows that my great is 93%. And your great could be 103%, but you're okay with settling and moving on 93%. No. As it was just stated, there is no way, and it's again with these titles, man, these titles, and do we understand what these titles mean? This is why God has us big on definitions. Because when we think we know what these words mean, we really don't know. I'll tell you, the word could be A, and the Holy Spirit will be like, look that up. And I'm like, A? Yeah, look it up. Meditate on that. Because it's not until, like God tells us in his written word, meditate on my word, that he can really speak to us and give us that conviction. No one else is able to give that conviction but God. Only Jesus, only the Holy Spirit can convict us. I can have the responsibility of assisting and guiding you to the word, of assisting and showing you how to read, maybe showing you how to study, maybe showing you what it looks like to live a more committed life. But I can't convict you. I just don't have that kind of authority. And to be honest, I'm happy I don't, because that's just extra pressure, extra time. That means extra kindness, extra long suffering. It's already a lot with assisting God and showing yourself some things, let alone when you got to show other people. Okay, and like it was stated, I don't think Marvin Sapp understands what he's showing to the masses. Jay-Z has his own level of success. Regardless of how he's got there, good, bad, right, wrong, different, he has his own level of success. How is it that we're supposed to teach people to come up out of the world, but yet we still keep entangling ourselves with the world? This is why I'm having a really hard time with this leaning on the world for help. And again, it's not the regular help, because we can learn from any and everybody. I can learn what to do and what not to do from anybody. You could be a person of God and still be around you like, I know not to do that. I know not to say that. I know not to decide like that. I know not to desire like that. It doesn't. At the same time, we do way too much leaning on the world. Way too much leaning. God has deemed me a certain level of success. Why am I now going to the world to help me reach another level of success? It was said, well, you know, he wants to cross over. Is it meant for you to cross over? You want to be like the Kirk Franklins. Look at the scrutiny Kirk Franklin is under in the godly realm. I'll never forget when Kirk Franklin did the verses on the BET, I think it was a Hip Hop Awards. Versus I'm sorry, he did the cipher. The cipher. His verse was dope. His verse was dope. But his lyrics, there were certain lines within his cipher that was real controversial and questionable. Like, sir, do you read your Bible? Whatever God you serve, let me go left. If you go that way, I'm going to go this way. Be careful who you want to be like. You hear Stomp being played in the club. Again, I really don't believe that was intentional. And that could have possibly been what helped now there to be some level of possible compromise. Because I'm making Christian music that will typically get played in churches, maybe at some block parties, you know, church events, maybe at some back to school functions. But now I'm hearing that it's playing in the club. You know, that I need to be making more Christian music that can be played in the club. But now that I'm possibly intentionally trying to make more Christian music that can be played in the club, is it really Christian music? Can I really label it Christian music? See, again, I keep saying it now. I don't know. I watched the Marvin Sapp story. He comes from, according to the story, he comes from being pretty much a functioning alcoholic. You know, so I can't say because you were a drinker, you weren't a square in the world. But see, things like this have me question, like, what kind of person were you in the world before God called you? Were you whack? Because when you know what it is to, like, always be in something in the world, and now God pulls you out of the world, even when he says, I'm going to put you on a platform that you're not of the world, but when people see you, you can be useful. You don't clamor to still be of the world, because you already know what it is to be of the world. I already know what it is to party literally every night, drink all the time, become a functioning alcoholic and not know it, to be sexing randomly, to be an angry person, to be loving until. I already know what that life is like. I'm good. I'm okay. And, you know, yes, like everyone else, I have my moments, and God has to remind me, excuse me, ma'am, you're no longer like that. What are you doing? But to really sit and plan my life around, I already know what that's like. if God told me I could go back to music right now and it never gets played in a club, I'm gonna write, I know what club music sounds like. I know what it sounds like. I know what it sounds like to hear music come loud through the speakers. And the vibration bounce off the bar. And I already know what it is. I already know what it is to perform with rappers. And be clamoring to get signed and be clamoring to be around the people who have made it. I know what that's like. I'm good. When I see stuff like this, I really always ask, like, how whack were you before God called? And maybe that's wrong. Does that mean? Maybe that's me. But that would be a real question. Like, you must have been a square. Because God has set you up to be amazing. But you want to be basic. How many people are not rap moguls? Philanthropists. Jay-Z ain't the first one. Russell Simmons took that title and knocked it out. Only if Russell Simmons wasn't a rapper himself. But he done already did the thing with Def Jam. He done already set the tone. Like, come on, what we doing? Stop looking at people like they Adam and Eve. He's not the first person to do this. Stop. You would have did better trying to sign with Def Jam. Trying to sign with I don't even know if Russell Simmons said. What are you doing? But you would have been better trying to get him. If you trying to go secular. There probably would have been a little more morals there. And there was some controversy around that name too. So it's just... Let's stop leaning on the world, please. This is why there's no hope. This is why there's no hope. Because when we look out into the world, when God says, come to me, and we look out into the world as to all the people who were supposed to have already gotten the message, come to me, and we see that they said, to hell with you, we're going over here. We're held responsible for that. Like, all jokes aside, like, I don't think we really meditate on that part. We're held responsible. God, Jesus says, woe to those who scatter the sheep. If I in any way am helping to discourage you from going towards Jesus, woe to me. And woe means you're doomed. Look it up. Anytime you read in that red lettering in the Bible, where Jesus says, woe to those of this, and woe is doomed to those who this, doomed to those who that. I ain't trying to be doomed. I'm already trying to make sure I'm not doomed because of things I want to do by myself. I ain't trying to be doomed because I'm helping you go against God. Jay-Z has already chosen his lane. Which lane am I choosing? How am I possibly going to be effective towards a Jay-Z if I keep showing that I still want the world to help me? I'm going to really have to talk to Pastor Steph about this thing because I'm feeling... I mean, you know what? No, I don't. I mean, I do. I'm going to talk to her anyway because I talk to her about pretty much everything. But I really feel convicted about this. And I'm feeling the conviction becoming stronger and even stronger and even stronger. About a few things, but we're talking about this right now. Stronger. Stop. Like, I don't want to go to the world for help. I don't. Anything that God has given me to do, if I cannot go to the clergy that he has placed me around, if I cannot go to my fellow congregant who he has intentionally placed me around, then there's a problem. I'm not going to now go and call Becky Sue, who I used to run the streets with, and be like, yo, you know what? God gave me to put these videos out. You think you can help me mass produce this distribution? No. Now, I will hit Becky Sue up like, yo, share this. Yeah, because we getting this out. But for you to be the reason why it's out, what are we doing? Wasn't the devil already helping us? He helps us. 'Cause, 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 And God took us away from that help. My help comes from the Lord. But now I'm going back to the devil like, real quick, I know you're busy, but help me get this music out real quick. We gotta become better in life, y'all. We gotta become better. That's why those of us who are already like content creators and I gotta find another term for that. But for those of us who are creative under the Lord, we really have to be the ones that's out here making it happen, and we gotta be the ones that's popping in our modesty, because look at mainstream. We gotta do better, y'all. We have to do better. And in the name of Jesus, we will do better, because this can't be it. And it's not it. So instead of focusing on what mainstream is not doing, how about we focus on who God says we are and focus on mastering that, so that we can now become an inspiration to everyone else that God is calling in addition to us. Amen? Amen. You've been watching It's Due Time with Pastor Steph. Join us live right here on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube Live, Monday through Friday morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you hit that red subscribe button so that you get notified each time we go live. It's Due Time with Pastor Steph. It's not the only popping show on this channel. Many others. Brother Ainsley and I spoke of one of them, My Two Cents, our film and TV critique show. That's also live on Thursdays, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is hilarious. It is great. We review things and we learn to appreciate it, appreciate the craft, and understand how some things have heightened and some things have plummeted. But God is ensuring that we're all well-rounded. So make sure that you tune in. Make sure that you go back. Have you made contact with Pastor Steph? I'm gonna ask her. Let her know that you miss her. Let her know that you're sending her your thoughts and your prayers. Thank you so much for being with me yesterday morning and this morning, allowing me to assist you with getting your morning started off right. God spares, we will be back on Monday, and I may be here with you again on Monday, God spares. So again, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out. I know coming off the weekend, we now have to shake the Monday morning blues. So sometimes you may forget to set those alarms and those reminders. But if you subscribe, YouTube does it for you, okay? Make sure that you focus on things that are above around Jesus, because that is where the real action is, and not focus on things that are here on the earth, because as we just got finished emphasizing, it only serves as a distraction. Remember how prayer changes everything. It's Shontyce signing off with you. Thank you so much again for entrusting me, guys, and being with us. And thank you to the men for taking us into yet again another thought-provoking weekend. And we pray that you have a blessed weekend. Until Monday, God spares. I love you.